All right, I want to welcome everybody back to the Unlock Your Retirement program. You've got Bruce, Chris, and Bruce from the WealthKare Investment Center talking today about future-proofing your retirement. What can you do now to make your retirement account, your retirement planning more durable, more consistent, and be able to endure certain things that may occur in the future or maybe are already occurring that are changing the outlook on your overall lifetime retirement plan. The next one we're going to talk about is a big one. This one is hard for people to modify once they've started doing it, but you've got to be accountable, for the money you're taking out of your retirement account. And if you're taking more out than you expect, then it's going to change the longevity curve of that retirement. So we're talking, of course, about withdrawal rate risk. So the amount of money that you're taking out, and if you have to take out more money because we've talked about inflation. Of course, higher taxes are expected at the end of 2025. So other things that are not lifestyle expenses for you. So withdrawal rate risk, and I'll throw this one to Chris. At this stage, why should somebody really look at updating their retirement plan and maybe even getting a second opinion on what they can safely withdraw from their retirement account?
A lot of times people start out with a higher withdrawal rate, with the plans to reduce it. Hey, I'm young now. I want to be able to go do stuff and have the money to do stuff while I still have the health to do it. But they don't revisit it or they let it go longer than they were originally planned to. They get accustomed to a certain lifestyle. So we talked a little bit, in the first section about it being an ongoing process. It's not something you just put on a shelf and set and forget it. Another thing that people start getting into is when they first retire, they say, I need how much a year, to make my lifestyle go. But they forget to take into consideration taxes and inflation and what that does to their portfolio over time. So there's the combined, there's the strategy of taking more to start and then reducing that needs to be looked at and making sure we're not going on that too long. But then also the effect, the compounding risk of taxes and inflation on net withdrawals and what that means to your pile of cash. And over the years, some people might look to adjust their strategies based on market downturns. So Bruce, why should people look into adjusting their returns, or why would they have to?
One thing that we're seeing right now is that people are spending a lot more money. Obviously the things that we've already discussed, inflation rate risk. People are already digging more into their investments, digging a little bit more into than in some cases the plan's built for. That's why you would like to reevaluate it on a consistent basis so that you're a little bit more on track with what you can spend and what is sustainable with your ongoing plan.
And I think the other part is that if you don't have a plan, and we talk many times about the Fidelity survey they run every year, is that only about 40 to 60% of retirees and pre-retirees have a detailed written retirement plan. And so for the people that don't, it's very hard to stress test or even kind of know where they're going. It's almost I think I'm going to be okay. Or even worse, and I think this is a big fallacy in the financial industry, is that people, they'll ask their advisor or they'll run an online calculator and say, will I be okay? Will I run out of money in retirement? And they're given the assurance, no, yes, you're going to be fine. You're not going to have a problem. Or the calculator says, yes, you're not going to run out of money. And again, but the fine print of all of that is based on the assumptions that you have provided. The responsibility is to you. And now with all of these different things changing, if you're drawing down more than you expected, as these risks come to bear, not just market risk, like the market can continue to perform well, but if these other areas are draining your portfolio quicker with the withdrawal rate that you're taking, or having to increase that withdrawal rate, and I think what's more realistic that we see all the time with people is not that they change how much they're taking out systematically, and you don't want to do that when the market's down. That's that you're hurting the portfolio more when you do that. But and somebody says, hey, I need $10,000 at one time for this, or $20,000 one time for that, to kind of, hey, I'm coming up short this year on property taxes, or my insurances are coming due, or all these things. And once they tap a one-time distribution, it almost becomes habitual. Like, I'm okay with my withdrawal rate that we said day one in the plan we were going to do. So if you don't have a detailed plan, this is probably the time to get one. You want to you want to know what your numbers look like. You want to stress test it, but also, whenever you're taking these systematic withdrawals plus a lump sum from time to time, you want to throw that into the planning and see what that looks like, so you can be forewarned about what that's doing to your retirement nest egg as we face, higher than expected withdrawals, with the impact of higher taxes, market fluctuations, but most of all now high inflation that we didn't anticipate, that was low for so many years. So I think that covers our withdrawal rate risk. The next one is the big mystery everybody wants to talk about, which is taxation risk. Retirement planning. I met with clients last night, as a matter of fact, and 100%, every single dollar they have that they've saved for retirement, it was considerable, but they've never paid tax on $1 of that money. And now as they look at a withdrawal rate, and they were saying, hey, we need X amount of dollars to spend, and whenever I ramped that up by about 30% in their case, they went, wait a second, I don't want to take that amount of money out of my nest egg. And it's like, well, you have to, because remember, if you want this much money to spend, Uncle Sam wants to spend this amount of money from your portfolio. So you've got to take out for Uncle Sam. And it was a shock to them. It was really a big surprise. So, taxation risk. This is something that, we talk for, God, 18 years, I think we've been doing this on the air. But, we talk about the warning that comes on every financial statement, on every website, everywhere you go, you see exactly the same thing, and it's in two parts. Number one is, they tell you, we do not provide tax advice. So the financial people that are managing your portfolio, managing your retirement, do not give you any tax advice. They're not giving you any tax management strategies. It was convenient when they said, put this money in an IRA, put this money in a 401k, put this money in a 403b, and let it grow. Well, sure, they want to have as much money in that portfolio as possible, but you made an agreement at that time to say, I will pay my taxes later. And later is when you are retired. And this is the time when we're very mindful of our expenses. We want our money to go as far as possible. And this is not the right time that we necessarily want to be, peeling off this money to go to Uncle Sam. And we always stress to people, you're going to have, you're going to pay it. In the case of the husband, your spouse is going to pay it. If something happens to you, your kids are going to pay it. But Uncle Sam is going to get paid. He's going to get his tax money. So the question is really twofold. Is one, how much is that tax bill? What does it look like over my lifetime? Because it says, we do not provide tax advice, but the second part is the warning. It says, seek competent advice, seek professional advice before you make any transactions. And there's a reason for that, because you have a choice. You can just let it go on autopilot, go willy-nilly, and pay your taxes, but you could be unnecessarily paying tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars unnecessarily, draining money out of your portfolio that otherwise could have been avoided with forward-looking smart tax management. So, this is the area I think that WealthKare is very unique in our depth of planning that we do for forward-looking tax management. One of our great resources is Ed Slott and Company. Ed Slott is pretty much, America's IRA guru, and taxation is the key heart of what they do. Chris is an elite advisor with the Slott Group. I'm a master elite advisor. And, we every year we go to these tax management intensive workshops that are a couple of 3 or 4 days long. And, you kind of get bug-eyed after talking about nothing but retirement taxes and all the different strategies. But it's a big deal. So, Chris, I'll throw it to you. Why should somebody explore a tax-efficient strategy for their retirement plan?
So, we were looking at some of the lowest tax rates in U.S. history. Coupled that with the ever-growing national debt that we're looking at. And so as you're entering retirement or in your first few years of retirement here, it's a good opportunity to future-proof your retirement plan from taxes. So you want to have strategies in place, to future-proof it. And when you're looking at tax-efficient investments, it all boils down to the final return. So yes, you see the tax-free versus taxable returns. And basically, at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're getting the most out of your money on an after-tax basis.
Okay, and we're gonna touch on that, but this segment is over. Time flies when you're having a good time. We hope you are. You can give us a call at the WealthKare Investment Center, 888-888-5601, or you can go online and download our new ebook, which is Unlock Your Retirement. It is unlockfreebook.com. That's unlockfreebook.com. We'll be right back with the Unlock Your Retirement radio program.
And now the moment our lawyer lives for.
Fee-based financial planning and advisory services are provided by WealthCare.com, Inc., an investment advisor based in Pennsylvania. Use of the term tax-free refers to federal income tax treatment only and may not apply to state, local, or specialized taxes. The impact of taxes varies by individual or family and should be considered before any transaction. Case studies are based on hypothetical scenarios, not actual clients, and do not guarantee specific results. All recommendations are tailored to the client's unique data. WealthCare and Bruce Smith are not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any government agency. All content is for informational purposes only and should not be used for financial decisions. Unauthorized use is prohibited.